Yo, what is going on, you guys? Repping the 407 here, bringing you a brand new video. In today's video, we are doing our weekly predictions like always. The season is coming to an end. It's almost over, guys. Like, we have this week and next week, and then it's the playoffs. And then Pro Bowl, Super Bowl. I'm going to the Pro Bowl practices, so hopefully I get to see a lot of players and get a lot of autographs when I go to that, since it is here in Orlando. But we are going to talk about week 16, but we have to talk about week 15 first. So last week I did pretty good. I had a record of 12-4, and my overall record is 141-83 right now. So some games that I want to talk about is that the Chiefs actually beat the Chargers. Keenan Allen went down, so that kind of hurt their chances. I thought the Chargers were going to win, but the Chargers still have a chance to make the playoffs. So I think they could still make the playoffs, and they could still win the division if the Chiefs lose this week, which I doubt. But we'll talk about that in the predictions. And then if the Chargers win the next two games, and then the Chiefs lose week 17. So I don't know. The Chargers can still possibly win that division. But there's two games I want to talk about are the Vikings and the Rams. They just blew out their opponent. The Vikings blew out the Bengals with the final score of like 34-7. And then the Rams blew out the Seahawks. Todd Gurley had 4 touchdowns that game. The final score came out to 40-7, something like that. I don't remember, but it was just a blowout in those two games. Aaron Rodgers came back, and like I said last week, they were going to lose. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 interceptions that game, and now they put him back on IR. So they're giving him more time to heal, which is pretty good. They were expecting him to make them make them go to the playoffs. If they won against the Panthers, they had a chance. But now they don't have a chance since they did lose. So he's back on IR and he's back healing again. So that's good for him. Give him more time to heal so he comes back next season stronger and better. Another thing I want to talk about is Antonio Brown is hurt. He is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully we get him back by the playoffs. Because as a Steelers fan, we're going to need him. Because he's one of the biggest things. Jesse James not getting the touchdown. That pissed me off. I was at work watching this game, and when they called back the touchdown, I was just mad. We lost because of some BS. Big Ben, I don't know what he did the final second. Supposedly it was the offensive coordinator, and I think someone else told him to go for it, which was so stupid. They should have just kicked the field goal and go into OT. But it was a close game. We put up a great fight against the Patriots, and we looked pretty good. So hopefully in the playoffs we can beat them to go to the Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo, talking about the Patriots, he is on the 49ers, and he is undefeated as a starter. I don't know how long that's going to last, because this week they play the Jags, so yeah, I don't think it's going to last long. But he is playing pretty well. He is doing pretty well as a quarterback, and the 49ers have a great quarterback in him. So hopefully they can keep him in the future. And then another game I want to talk about is the Raiders and the Cowboys. The Cowboys beat the Raiders by this much, basically. Derek Carr at the end, he lunged for the end zone, and Jeff Heath clutched it out and made him fumble. So it fumbled out in the end zone and went out of bounds. So it was a touchback, and the Cowboys got the ball. Derek Carr just blew it, basically. And now this week, Zeke is back, and I think the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs with Zeke is back. So we'll talk about that in a second. But now we are going to get into week 16, starting off with the tonight game. We have 2 games on Saturday, which are tonight. And the first game we have is the Colts at Ravens, and I don't see the Colts winning this at all. I feel like the Ravens are going to finish this game with the final score of 15-24. And the Ravens, I think they'll make the playoffs, to be honest. I think they have a good chance to make the playoffs. Especially, I feel like they're going to get a win this week. And I'm pretty sure they play the Browns next week or the Bengals. They play one of our division teams. So I'm pretty sure they'll win these last 2 weeks. So I think they will make the playoffs. On to the next game, we have the Vikings and Packers at Packers home. And now that Brett Hundley is starting back again, I feel like the Vikings are still going to win. The Vikings have been on a roll, and they've been having an amazing season, and I feel like they are going to win this game with the final score of 28-17. I don't see the Packers winning, especially now that they don't have a chance to the playoffs. They don't have any points to win. So I have the Vikings winning this game. Next game we have is 2 terrible teams. Yes, they're both terrible. The Browns and the Bears. But the Browns are going in 0-15. They're probably going to finish 0-16 this season, to be honest. I don't know who they play in week 17, but if they play a pretty good team, they might go 0-16. So Lions fan, you guys won't be alone. But the Bears, the predictors, like I always do, it says, will the Bears win? And I said this is true. And I think the final score is going to be 17-24. I don't think I said that yet. So that is the final score. And then it's also asking, will the Bears have 105 rushing yards? And I said that is true because they have Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen who could get 100 yards easily each. So I think that will definitely happen in this game. On to the next game, we have the Lions at Bengals. And if the Lions lose, they're out of the playoffs. So the Lions, I don't want to see the Lions in the playoffs because I want to see the Cowboys, to be honest. I feel like the Cowboys are going to make it. But if the Lions make it, I'm perfectly fine with that. They deserve it. They made it there. And the Lions have been playing okay. But I had the Lions winning this game 24-21, a 3-point game. And then the predictor says, will the Bengals win? And I said that is false. And then it's also asking, will the Bengals have 235 receiving yards? And I said that is false as well. I do not see that happening in this game. Because I feel like the Lions defense is pretty good, especially with Darius Slay, and then you have Glover Quinn and then Diggs in safety. I feel like they can definitely stop them from getting 235 receiving yards in this game. On to the next game, we have a game that I think is just going to be a blowout. The Rams versus the Titans. I feel like the Rams are just going to blow them off their feet and just like get an easy W. I feel like the final score is going to be 35-17. And then the predictor said, will the Titans win? No, they're not winning. That is obviously false. And it's also asking, will the Titans have 120 rushing yards? And I said that is true because they have DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. And since the Rams are going to be scoring a lot, the Titans are going to have the ball a lot. So I feel like they're going to have that much rushing yards in this game. On to the next game right here. We have the Dolphins at Chiefs. And I believe the Chiefs are going to win this, but I think it's going to be a close game. I have the Chiefs winning this game with the final score of 25-28. Like I said, Chiefs coming up on top. The predictor says, will the Chiefs win? And I said that is true. And it's also asking, will the Chiefs have 250 receiving yards? And I said that is true as well. Because the Chiefs have pretty good receivers in Tyreek Hill. And then Travis Kelce is a pretty good tight end. So I definitely see that happening in this game. Especially with Alex Smith, which is a pretty decent quarterback. A pretty good quarterback. You could say he's a Pro Bowler. But I see it happening in this game. On to the next game right here, we have the Falcons and Saints, and this is going to be a great game because they're both fighting for playoff and to lead the division. Even though the Saints are leading the division, the Falcons are trying to get in the playoffs, especially from being Super Bowl contenders last year. They're trying to get to the playoffs this year. But I had the Saints winning this game with the final score of 28-21. And then the predictor says, will the Saints win? And I said that is true. And it's also asking, will the Saints have 125 rushing yards? And I said that is true because their two running backs have been been killing it this season. So I definitely see that happening in this game. On to the next game, we have the Chargers at Jets. And I feel like the Chargers are going to win this game. I don't know. Ever since the Jets lost McCown, I don't feel like they have a chance. So I have the Chargers winning 25-18, and then the predictor is asking, will the Jets win? And I said that is false. And then it's also asking, will the Jets have 230 receiving yards? And I said that is false as well. Like I said, Josh McCown isn't there. I don't think Petty, I think that's his name, right? Bryce Petty, if I'm not mistaken, the starting quarterback now, can't do it. So I don't see that happening this game. On to the next game, we had the Broncos at Redskins, and I believe the Redskins are going to win this game with the final score of 17-25. I do not see the Broncos winning anymore. I feel like they're just going to tank these last two games so they could get a pick and get the quarterback they need. Hopefully they draft a good quarterback because they drafted Paxton Lynch. He hasn't been doing much. Trevor Siemian isn't doing much either. They have Brock Osweiler, which he's okay, but they need a quarterback. But the predictor says, will the Redskins win? I said that is true. And it's also asking, will the Redskins have 100 rushing yards? And I said that is false because the Broncos defense is still one of the best defense in the league. Even though they're on defense a lot, so they allow a lot of points, but they're still pretty good. But other than that, on to the next game, we have another NFC South matchup. The other two NFC South teams between the Bucs and the Panthers. And you know, the Bucs are taking an L this week. They're not going to win. The Panthers are just going to easily win. Cam Newton, okay. But I think Cam Newton is just going to kill it. He's probably going to have like over 50 rushing yards knowing how Cam Newton is. And I feel like they're going to do well. So the predictor says, will the Panthers win? And I said that is true. And then it's also asking, will the Panthers have 240 receiving yards? And I said that is false because they're mainly a rushing team with their mobile quarterback, and then the two running backs they have in Jonathan Stewart and Christian McCaffrey. So I don't see them getting 240 receiving yards in this game. On to the next game. We have the Jags at the 49ers. And like I said, Jimmy G is undefeated, but I think that is going to stop here because the Jags are one of the best defensive teams in the league. So I don't see it happening. But I feel like it is going to be a pretty close game because Jimmy G has been putting up a great fight in the recent weeks. So I think he's going to play well. And I have a final score of 28-22. And it's asking, will the 49ers win in this game? And I said that is false. And it's also asking, will the 49ers have 1 passing touchdowns? With Jimmy G, I see this happening. So I think that is true. I feel like Jimmy G is a great quarterback, and hopefully the 49ers can keep him for a long time because he's been playing really well, and he's looking like a leader already, and this is only like his 3rd starting game, so he's been playing really well. I think he's going to be great in the future, especially since he was learning from Tom Brady. So if you keep on starting him, I feel like he could do something for your team and be a big impact and be a great quarterback in general. On to the next game we have right here. It is the Seahawks and Cowboys. And I told you, I think the Cowboys are making the playoffs, so they definitely have to win this. It'll help their chances if they beat the Seahawks. So I feel like the Cowboys are going to win this game with the final score of 25-28. It's going to be a great game because they're both fighting for playoff chances. So I feel like the Cowboys are going to come up on top. Like I said, the predictor says, will the Cowboys win? And I say that is true. It's also asking, will the Cowboys have 120 rushing yards? I think that is true. Now that Zeke is back, I feel like he's looking for revenge and he wants to win this game, especially help his team make the playoffs. So I feel like he's going to have 120 rushing yards in this game. And then it's asking, will the Cowboys have 220 receiving yards in this game? And I said that is false because even without Zeke, they didn't really get that much yards. So I don't see it happening against the Seahawks, one of the better defense in the league with some good safeties and cornerbacks. I don't see it happening. But like I said, Zeke is going to kill this game. On to the next game, we have the Giants at Cardinals, and Arizona has been playing pretty well at the end of the season, and I feel like they're going to win this game because it's the Giants, and the Giants are just looking to tank since now they don't have anybody and the season's almost over. So I have a final score of 25-17 with the Cardinals coming up on top, and the predictor is asking, will the Cardinals win? And I said that is true. It's also asking, will the Cardinals have 90 rushing yards? I said that is false, and it's also asking, will the Cardinals have 270 receiving yards? And I said that is false as well. I do not see either one happening, but I do see the Cardinals winning this game. On to the Sunday night football game, we have my Steelers. This is another primetime game. We've had so many primetime games in a row. Like last week, we had a 4 o'clock game. Even though it wasn't a primetime game, it was still an amazing game since we played one of the best teams in the AFC. But we've had like 4 primetime games in a row, then the Patriots game, and now we have another primetime game. It's just, we have so many primetime games. But the Steelers are winning this game. It's against the Texans. I don't think TJ Yates can do anything in this game. So I have the Steelers winning by 10 points with the final score of 28-18. It's asking, will the Texans win? I said that is false. It's also asking, will the Texans have 110 rushing yards? I said that is false. And it's asking, will the Texans have 235 receiving yards? Like the other ones, I think it is false. I don't see them completing any of these, especially the Texans win. They're not going to win, in my opinion. They might win. They might. But I don't think they're winning at all. On to the last and final game, which is the Monday Night Football game. We have the Raiders at Eagles, and the Eagles still have Nick Foles since Carson Wentz is out for the season. So Nick Foles needs to do something. He needs to be great in the playoffs. Hopefully, having the first round bye and having home field advantage helps them. So I don't know what's going on. They said Nick Foles looks ready and he could possibly win it for them, but I don't know. But I have a final score of 28-24 with the Eagles coming up on top. And it's asking, will the Eagles win? And I said that is true. It's also asking, will the Eagles have 125 rushing yards? I said that is false. But it's asking, will the Eagles have 250 receiving yards? I think that is true. So it's possible that the Eagles can go to the Super Bowl still. But Nick Foles has to come out big in these couple games and hopefully clutch it out for the Eagles. But with that being said, guys, that is pretty much my prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your predictions down below. Who do you guys see winning tonight between the Vikings and the Packers, and then the Colts and the Ravens? Who do you guys see winning tonight? And also, let me know, who do you think are making the wild card? Do you think the Cowboys are making it? Do you see the Falcons making it? Or in the AFC, do you see the Chargers making it? Or just let me know who you guys think are going to make it. Like I said, I feel like the Chargers and the Ravens in the AFC, and then the Cowboys and the Panthers, I'm pretty sure they're the wild card. So the Cowboys and the Panthers are making the NFC. But let me know your prediction down below. Who is making the wild card? But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe like always. I will be posting more videos soon. But till next time, guys, take care. Have a great day. Peace out.